Hello, I'm Movie Geek, and I'm being forced to do a top 5 worst of 2017. And to be fair, it wasn't that hard. So I'm going to get straight into it. My top 5. The Mummy. It was a reboot for Universal. They went in hard. They gave it a big opening, Universal Monster, or Monster Universe, or Dark Universe, or whatever it was at the beginning of the film, and it's dead already. It looks like it has been a failure, but you know what? I'll be honest, I didn't mind it. It wasn't great, it was just there. It's just an hour and a couple of hours of time gone. I won't be going back to it, but I can't say I hated it. There are films on this list that I hate more. I think the problem with it as well is it was an action film rather than a horror film. They should have done a horror film. They had an action comedy in the 90s with Brendan Fraser's Mummy, and this was just a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible style action with some horror elements. And you know what? The horror elements worked really well, but there weren't enough of them, and then they tried to shoehorn in this universe. Oh, there's a vampire skull, oh, there's an arm. They even put in 1999 Book of the Dead or Book of the Living from The Mummy. There was no need. It just didn't work. And I think if they're going to go back and try again, because they will, Universal want their universe, they're going to have to do something different. Bring a proper horror film back. Make a horror universe. Do a horror style shared universe. That's the only way to do it. They used to do it with Dracula and the Wolfman, or Frankenstein and the Wolfman. So do it again. Just make it scary. Don't make it action packed. Don't have Tom Cruise in it. I don't mind Tom Cruise, but just anyway, I don't think it's going anywhere. So we'll probably get a reboot soon later down the line. Number 4. I watched this after it was in cinema. I wanted it to be good. I think the reason why it's on this list is because so I can talk about it, because I don't think I'm going to go back to it. The Dark Tower by Stephen King, starring Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. It's a book series from Stephen King that should have a cinematic treatment, but for some reason they decided to adapt and continue the story at the same time, instead of just straight adaptation of the book. Not a bad film as such, but it's just more disappointing. After having some King stories adapted into enjoyable, if not successful, films in 2017, look at It and what's it called? Gerald's Game on Netflix. It's a shame that The Dark Tower, which is a 7-book series, fail on the first outing is just quite sad. It seemed rushed and disjointed and has elements that were changed in the book. It seemed like they were taking story threads from the last books rather than doing it chronologically, which I can see what they were trying to do, but they just didn't do it well. Did have some nice sequences though, like every time they showed how the gunslinger works and uses his weapons, how he can do it. That was good, but again, it's just too little. Right, I've been on the fence about Matthew McConaughey for a long time. He's in Interstellar, which I like, but my one problem with that film is his voice and the way he delivers his lines. It's all a little bit, get lost. And in this, he was hamming it up. He was going for pantomime villain. It just didn't work. I know he's supposed to be a magician and all that, but I don't know. I just think Get someone else. Get someone else. I don't understand why they didn't just do a straight up adaptation of The Gunslinger. It's a straightforward story that goes back on itself to tell a story and backstory. It could be cut into the style of the book in a way that, like, Christopher Nolan does well. Look at Dunkirk and see how it can be done. If this had been a good film, I would be looking forward to the sequel. I would. But now they have announced a TV series. I'll be honest, if it follows what Game of Thrones and Stranger Things can do, and throw everything at the screen, I think it will be able to accomplish it. I'm well and truly in for that TV show of The Dark Tower. I think that'll be great. But you know what? I would like the cast to remain. Even McConaughey maybe. I'd like Elba to stay, but I don't think he'd be up for doing like a TV show. Number 3. King Arthur, Something of the Sword. Just awful. The fact that I'm having to talk about King Arthur in 2017 is just silly. This story has been done to death. And no matter what you give it, no matter who you're going to give it to, you're not going to get anything different. It's just the same old crap. I was on holiday and I met a set dresser for Warner Brothers. He told me things that happened on set and he talked about all the stuff he's done. He gave us a good anecdote about Ben Affleck on the Justice League or Batman v Superman set. Maybe I'll tell you one day. And he was really proud of the stuff he'd done on King Arthur, which, you know, looking at it, it's quite a nice looking film. But I wasn't interested. I was like, King Arthur, yeah. Ooh. You could say that I went into this film with a negative view straight off the bat. And that swayed my opinion. But the film is just dull. It's dull. What is it, Monty Python? Dull. It's dull. It does have some good action scenes. The fight scenes are alright. They're alright. I'm not saying great. They're alright. They're cut nicely. But the story is dire. Charlie Hunnam plays the character well, but again, not well enough for me to care. It's a film that shouldn't have been made, and a film that shouldn't have had the amount of money spent on it. $175 million budget, and it only managed to get 148 million. It actually managed to get 148 million, let's just put it that way. Hopefully, we can leave these stories behind until England is in dire need for these films. Number 2, the Emoji Movie.
Okay, son. What?
You know what? I don't mind that movie studio has tried to make a film using mobile phone apps and emojis. I don't mind that this film is made for the lowest common denominator. Kids who like shiny things. I don't mind that they got Patrick Stewart to play the poop emoji. Should I say Sir Patrick Stewart to play the poop emoji. He doesn't care, he's just cashing a check. That's fine. Each to his own. I don't care that they constantly use current pop music in kids' films. That's a different story though. But what I do care about is the fact that they keep giving James Corden jobs in films. He is soon to be headlining a Peter Rabbit film. Now, I hate James Corden. I think he's terrible. He was in Doctor Who, and I had to cringe my way through it. And to be fair, the episodes are quite good. But his appearance in them were just dire and terrible. I don't know why he keeps getting his annoying little voice everywhere. He's everywhere. He's even in adverts. Why? You know what though? Forget all that. The Emoji Movie is just crap. It's a disgusting piece of trash that it just doesn't do anything. There's no real story. It's just there to, hey, here's an advert. Oh, here's an advert. Oh, yeah, I've got nothing around me that I can pretend to be an advert. It's just crap. My boys won't be watching it. Hang on. Noah,
Yeah?
you seen the Emoji Movie?
No?
Good. Alright.
Bye.
Just had to check. They're not going to be seeing it. No way. Over my dead body. Right. I'm going to have a shower. Because I feel dirty. It's better. Now, number 1, Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Yes, it's not 1994, it's 2017, and Disney are going through their back catalogue of animated films and remaking them in live action because, well, there's obviously a market there, let's face it. It's the highest grossing film of 2017. But why? There's no need. You can't do what you did in the original because the mix of live action and CGI doesn't mesh well. And it just isn't worth it. It's crap. The film, if you haven't seen it, I have reviewed it. Go and watch it. And to be fair, in my review, I'm quite unbiased. This is obviously... It's unbiased. Go watch my review. It's quite good. I did actually put a lot of work into it because I tried to do a little bit of history on Disney and all that sort of stuff, put it in there, and it does actually set up a sequel Disney video, which I haven't done yet. So go watch it, and then if you want a sequel, tell me. Let me know. It'd be good to do, maybe. But like I said, there's no need for this film. I don't understand why they made it the way they did. I mentioned in my review that this isn't the first Disney animated film to be remade into live action. They did Maleficent, they've done Cinderella, but these films take a different stance on it. Maleficent is Sleeping Beauty. It's different. It's told from the villain's perspective. It works quite well. It's not great, but it's different. It changes the story. Beauty and the Beast copies the story completely. It doesn't change a thing. It adds a couple of new songs that don't leave any impact. It's the same story. Seeing this try to redo it, it's just dull. Again, with that word dull, it's dull. It brought nothing new to the story except a plot hole book that can transport the reader to anywhere. It's a waste of time and a waste of money, but they've made their money back and some. So maybe I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. Most people really enjoyed it. I just think it was crap. I'll tell you, my biggest problem was the Be Our Guest song. In the original, it's a wash of colour and excitement, and all the living appliances in the house are dancing for Belle. It's great. It's a good song. It's probably a lot of viewers' favourite scenes in the film. This one was just ugly. And don't get me wrong, Ewan McGregor is like singing his heart out, and he's acting. He's got his like little fake French accent, and he's doing quite good. He's putting his heart into it. But the colour of the music, the scene, and the way he's rendered and all that, it just is ugly. And you want to see the original because there is no point for them to have remade this. I just don't get it. I don't know. If you want to know more of how I felt about Beauty and the Beast, go watch my review. Tell me what you think. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. I don't know. So, I've got through my top 5 worst films. I've already done my top 5 best films of 2017. Let me know what you think. Is there any films from 2017 that you think that I should watch? That you think that I should get on right now? Or you think that will change my view from my list? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I sometimes go on there. So, 2018, there can't be any worse than Beauty and the Beast. Solo. They've made a Han Solo film. Bye.